Hey, Aries, intuitive soul coach here with your March 2024 love reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings. Please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Aries, welcome. A lot of messages coming through for you right away in matters of the heart. So this could be for those of you who are single, in a relationship, perhaps it's complicated. We'll look at the energy today. So please take, again, what resonates, leave the rest behind. What I'm getting right away for you is an ending to an old lifestyle or possibly to an old belief system in order for you to move forward with lasting commitment, because your outcome energy here, you actually have the knotted rope, which is about lasting commitment, and you have the wheel moving forward, possibly after a time of reflection. Maybe even after a time of some rest and retreat, some R&R, maybe some deep soul searching here, Aries. I'm also getting this song, which one of my favorite songs. It's showing up loud and clear. So some of you may have just been listening to some Janis Joplin, but I am getting Me and My Bobby McGee. So some of you are calling in a soulmate. You may already be in a soulmate relationship or connection. You have two cards showing up here in the environment. You're also getting clarity, or you're finding some sort of truth or balance within yourself or within a union is what I'm hearing here for you as well. And the outcome. Okay, yeah, you're changing your perspective. You are shifting the way that you do things. Like I mentioned, either a lifestyle, a belief system. You're unlocking something within you that's going to change and alter your physical world, I feel, forever. I mean, your outcome with the lasting commitment, you're definitely calling in or attracting something long-term within yourself. And I feel like this has to do with some sort of acceptance as well. Some of you, perhaps there is a limiting belief within you that has come to some sort of acceptance of, I'm going to be alone forever, or this is the relationship I must be in forever. Whatever acceptance you have gone through, or I accept that this relationship is what it is. I accept that I'll never talk to my mother or my family again. I feel like that acceptance is being shattered, or it's being challenged. Okay, so this can be a good thing. It means that it's a belief system that there was a lot of maybe stubbornness, a lot of hurt, a lot of anxiety around it. And yes, acceptance can be a piece of healing and moving on. But I also see that there's going to be something shaken up here, even though we don't see the tower, which is good. But I feel like this is internal. It's an internal shakeup where you think, wow, maybe I don't have to accept that as the final outcome. Maybe I don't have to accept this way of doing things, because there's some sort of light, some sort of clarity coming in here for you. You can see the light beyond the forest here. The forest is your central card, Aries, and this does talk about steady growth. So a lot of you went through maybe a deep spiritual awakening with the bear. Okay, you went through maybe even a hibernation period. Even if you are in a relationship, maybe you just took a few steps back to focus on your health, your spiritual development, maybe your career, your children. But I also sense that for those of you that are single, you had to go through a reflection phase and take a look at maybe how a relationship had shaped you, what you had learned from it, what you had grown from. But I like that the forest is showing up here because, again, you're coming out of the thick of things. You're coming out of, again, a period of rest, hibernation, recuperation, and there's a lot more sunshine here showing up. You're on the brink of some major change is what I keep hearing for you. I'm also getting the name Adam. Adamson or Adams could be significant for you as well. And I see someone traveling to you, or perhaps you traveling to someone else. Maybe this is a long distance relationship. Someone could be at a distance, okay? Because I do see with the wheel here, something that has to do with travel. Perhaps maybe you're planning a trip. You could meet someone while you are vacationing or traveling for work. For others of you, if you are at a distance, I feel like there could be a shakeup, and maybe you have accepted that this is where life is at right now. Maybe we're away from each other, or maybe I am single, but you could be expanding your radius when it comes to matters of the heart, right? We think of expanding our radius in many different terms, but imagine the heart chakra opening up and expanding beyond. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here, is there's an expansion taking place where maybe you've kind of kept yourself and your heart chakra closer to you with the bear due to, again, some sort of hurt or due to some sort of acceptance. But I see here that things are shifting in a big way. They're moving forward, and maybe even what you don't quite see coming is a promise that you make to yourself that may even begin around Aries season, or perhaps it's a new promise that you tell yourself that you deserve happiness, that you deserve long-lasting commitment, that you are not going to settle for less than you deserve, that you're not going to be a doormat or taken advantage of, or, whatever challenges or limiting beliefs that you've set out for yourself. I feel like you are making a new promise to yourself. Someone could be making a promise to you as well, Aries. Maybe you're making a promise to someone else about moving forward. I mean, I really love this combination together. It tells me that there is potentiality here for a long-lasting commitment. I'm getting 10 of coins, 10 of pentacles energy, and 10 of cups. So long-term stability, emotional fulfillment here. But I see that because you're shifting gears, because there's some sort of change going on within you, we don't see the 10 of coins yet, but it wouldn't surprise me to see it maybe even in the April reading. All right, bottom of the deck, what you don't see coming is there is a gradual shift happening within you. It may have even began last autumn, okay? So maybe last September, last October, 2023 may have been significant. Depending on where you are located in the world, your autumn could be different. But I also see here that this autumn, 2024, you may make a big decision. Look at that. Right behind it, you have the keys, which is important choices. And I was going to say, there's going to be a shift happening here, but it may be a decision that you make. Some of you may even move in with someone. Okay. You could move into a new home or a new location. I do see here that you're ending an old lifestyle, as I mentioned, but it'll be gradually for you. And one day you're going to wake up and you may have that important choice to make, right? Wow, I am committed to this person. We do want to move in together. Or this could be, I've been alone for quite some time, and it's time for me to open my heart up and expand my radius. For those of you that are in a relationship, I feel like if you're maybe wanting to bring in more stability, maybe even buy your dream home or buy a home that feels more secure, possibly out in the country, or maybe you're wanting to be near family. I feel like the keys here could be that you're shifting in a new environment, but I also see you're making some choices in a relationship that maybe you've been contemplating for quite some time. Maybe it's been a gradual shift in a union. So your first card out here you have is the Page of Swords. Some of you have been in your head, right? You've been disconnected from maybe love or disconnected. Even though this isn't a cup card, I feel like you've been overthinking things, okay? Overthinking things to the point of needing that bear energy to come in and say, okay, Aries, time for you to stop overthinking, rest and retreat, pull back a little bit. Because sometimes when we really get up in our head, we start to try to think our emotions and we try to rationalize and logically come up with answers as to why things happened or why things are going the way that they're going. And of course, we can use our brilliant intellect, yet our intuitive brain as well. But I feel like there is a part of you that wants to reconnect, right? Wants to reconnect to that more of that intuitive left mind instead of rationally, logically overanalyzing things. Okay, so there is a balance coming in here where this is going to offer you a new opportunity to communicate, to communicate with a loved one, okay, to expand within your own mind as well, your own belief system, go back and reevaluate. And I also think that it's an important time for you to reconnect with your wants, with your needs, with your desires, with what's working, what's not working. What is your priority? What do you want to shift from here on out? And what beliefs can you take a deeper look at in order for you to align with what's going on out here? Okay, so that's the balance. Internal matches your external. And that's where you're at this time with the Page of Swords. Now, what's crossing your energy could be lack of communication. Okay, it could be inconsistency. Some of you, maybe you felt like you haven't been on track in matters of love. Maybe you've been single and you haven't really communicated, or you have been at a distance with someone and communication hasn't been as strong as maybe it once was. But this is about delays. And so I feel like the challenge here is a delay when it comes to connecting with love, okay? Or connecting with even a spiritual sense, right? Eight of Wands is the card of messages, news, communication, speed, travel. And I feel like because it's crossing your energy, you've been disconnected from some sort of communication within yourself or another, but you're going to get back on track here. I see that because you're completely shifting, as we mentioned, you're shifting into a new perspective that's going to help you match and balance the internal, external. What's below you, Aries? Some of you put in a lot of time and energy into a relationship or into a situation where you just weren't getting back what you were putting in. Okay, that was for some of you in the deep, deep past, the foundation here. This could be a marriage that you were in 15 years ago, right? It could be a marriage that maybe you're still in and you're looking at it and you're saying, is this going to pay off, right? Do I feel good about where I'm at, or do I need to reconfigure? And maybe reconfiguring has to do with the both of you working together and, connecting with your hobbies, getting, back in touch with each other and just falling in love all over again, if that is something that you desire. For others of you, I feel like you've been in a relationship for quite some time with the lasting commitment. And I do sense that you're going to make some choices here that have to do with offering up a new beginning for you, the other person, both of you together, completely up to you. And for those of you that are single, there hasn't been a lot of options is kind of what I'm getting here. Or maybe you haven't felt like you've met people and you've just been focusing on your career, your self-development, but it's in the back of your mind. You keep thinking, well, I would love to have some sort of lasting commitment. I would love to move forward, but it feels like everywhere I put my energy when it comes to love, it's diminished here. Okay, but I see here with the Seven of Coins, this is about you really taking a deep look at, the type of people that you've attracted, the whys, and just doing a lot of thinking about things. But try not to overthink, because that can, leave you feeling energetically exhausted as well as physically and mentally. Now, in the recent past, we see a heart offer coming in here, an opening of the heart. We see new, exciting momentum behind your energy, maybe even a love offer made to you. I also get for some of you, there's been an apology here, or maybe an apology is needed because of this communication. There may have been a delay. Someone could have been late, or they told you something that they felt short on, okay, with the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe they said they were going to pick you up at a certain time, or they wanted to come visit you, but it got pushed off or it got delayed. Someone could have been focused on their work. But I do sense here in the recent past, there is definitely excitement behind an energy. I'm just not quite sure if you were able to fully feel satisfied within this excitement. Okay, it's like we're talking about it, but we're not quite there yet. Okay, or maybe you wanted to connect and communicate, but I feel like some sort of motivation got lost in the mix, but I feel like that's going to get picked up here. Now, what's coming in above you is some sort of illusion revealed with the Moon card showing up here. The Moon is all about illusions, but it's also about gaining a sense of clarity and trusting in your intuition. It is about being guided into the unknown and having your own intuitive sense back you up, right? Also, with the moon card, Pisces energy, there's a lot of emotions here. This is subconscious energy. This can also be truths exposed. It can be about seeing beyond the truth into maybe some sort of facade, some sort of mask, illusion, or an energy that you weren't able to understand. I feel like it's becoming clearer and clearer of what you need to do to make some sort of choice or some sort of self-development or healing within you. Some of you, this is deep shadow work, okay? And this is coming in, but not to let it scare you, because we do get scared at times of our own emotions, but that is part of the human experience. There's no good or bad emotion, Aries. It's about you being able to understand that some of our beliefs, right? We may have been taught from a very young age, which we all are, how to deal with our emotions. Maybe you were told, go to your room if you're going to cry, right? Go to your room if you're going to cry, because that's an emotion that we need to be alone. So we start to embrace these beliefs around our emotions and around our feelings, especially if you are a divine masculine, right? Little boys shouldn't cry, be strong. What is strength? Strength is being vulnerable, being truthful with your emotions. And a lot of you, you're seeing this within someone else, a divine masculine. It could be you, divine feminine. Doesn't matter if you're female or male, but I feel like you're really taking a deeper look at the ways of others and the ways of yourself when it comes to feeling your emotions as well. All right. Near future, Two of Coins. Again, you're at a crossroads here. This is about you taking a look at your priorities and saying, okay, what matters to me? Because your emotions, your feelings are a side effect from some sort of thinking, right? And we see here that you're doing some sort of thinking that is leaving you in your feels, right? You've come up with some sort of thoughts or some sort of beliefs that now have an emotion or feeling attached to them. And now you're trying to balance them out, align them to make a decision. Two of Coins. What do I do now in the physical? Do I take the left path, right? Maybe the path that I'm familiar with, the comfortable path, the one that feels safe and secure, but maybe it's not in my highest good. Maybe there's no growth. Or do I take the path on the right, maybe the path less traveled? Do I open myself up to a new journey? But man, that seems scary, right? And it seems scary here because my thoughts are telling me that if I go this path, right, I could be hurt. And I've been taught I have to be strong, right? So again, you see how there are feelings that kind of cross over. There's a lapse happening here. And that's why you're at a crossroads. But I also see, if you can kind of see, it's very faint, but you can see the infinity symbol showing up, the 8. And so this can be something coming full circle, right? That's the balance. And I like this energy as well because it opens us up to infinite opportunities and new choices. Instead of feeling a little bit stuck or feeling like we don't have a choice, this is saying, yes, you do. Open yourself up to a higher level of belief, right? What else is possible instead of the belief of, well, this is the way. This is the only way. Look over on this path here, Aries, and say, what else is possible? It may just blow your mind, the infinite possibilities available. What's going on in your energy? Two of Cups, it is showing up in reverse here. So some of you feel maybe a little bit of self-reflection is needed with the rest and retreat. Okay, again, this is going to allow you to maybe not hightail it out of the woods because you're really close. Remember, you're in the woods here. You are doing some deep reflection, maybe some deep shadow work. You may be seeing, again, another person. This could be a partner. It could be a family member, someone that's close to your heart here, as this is a love reading. But I feel like instead of doing what most of us want to do, right, is hightail it out of the woods because we see the sunshine and we want to feel that warmth and we want to feel the abundance, you're saying, you know, it's still going to be there when I walk out, right? But I need to be here right now, and I need to feel this, and I need to understand this, and again, acceptance is showing up here. So that's interesting that acceptance is showing up as you accepting something for what it was. But as I had mentioned in the beginning of your reading, there's something that you're not accepting. So again, it's like a lapse of energy, and maybe it's two separate things. Maybe you've accepted the end of a situation, but you're also telling yourself a new story and saying, yes, that was the ending, but I'm not going to let it be my forever ending. I'm not going to stay alone forever because of something that happened. And I feel like you're kind of reevaluating and you're paying attention to what's right in front of you here, staying present, self-development, some sort of self-healing and self-actualization, a discovery of emotions, of belief systems. And I feel like you're going to walk out there with your head held high, right? And when you do, that's when you are able to come together with the Two of Cups in some sort of union, perfect partnership here, one that aligns with you. This is soulmate energy. It is attraction. It's important partnerships in matters of love and romance. Some of you, there was a separation or you had to heal the past trauma before you could bring something together here. And that's why you're not running out of the woods, because you realize that if you run out of something, which that's symbolic for numbing. It's symbolic for not taking responsibility for our own healing. It can be symbolic for running into a new relationship. Here's another belief. When we are little and we come home from school and we say, you know, the kids picked on me and they wouldn't let me be a part of their group. Mom says, you'll find new friends here, have a cookie. Right here, have a cookie. So at first glimpse, it may not sound bad, right? Mom's trying to comfort you. Mom's saying you'll find new friends. Don't worry about that friend group because there's plenty of fish out in the sea. So don't worry about that. Here's a cookie. So two things we're being taught there, right? We're being taught that everything is replaceable. We're being taught that it's okay, don't feel those feelings or emotions of what's going on in this friend group because you can jump to the next thing. So there's belief number one, myth, right? That we constantly can replace. It's replaceable. And then number two is we can replace the loss with something else, a cookie, right? So I feel like you are taking a deep dive and there could be an understanding here of why people act the way they do. So some deep psychology happening here. It doesn't surprise me, Aries, that psychology is showing up in your reading. Some of you may even be psychologists or into the human mind. You may like to understand why people act the way they do. Some of you are therapists, coaches, mentors, healers, shamans, light workers, and you are understanding things on a level that goes beyond. And when you understand it from that perspective, it allows you to see people beyond the surface of some sort of pain or belief or hurt or systems or social norms that they grew up in. And some of you are looking at it yourself and you're saying, yeah, I'm not going to numb myself. I'm not going to run away from this. I want to come into some sort of perfect partnership. So this is what I need to do in order to move forward. And you are moving forward here. I see that for you. All right, what's going on in your environment? You have two cards that came out together here. You have the Hermit and the Six of Wands, both in the lower vibration, right? Because there's duality of every single card, and there could have been some sort of shame that maybe you grew up in, okay? Could even have been bullying. Some of you, maybe you were overlooked as a child or overlooked in some sort of union with the Seven of Coins, remember, in your past or in your foundation, where you felt like there was a fall, right? Like you fell down a couple notches and it took a hit to your self-confidence and it left you feeling lonely, isolated. Some of you, this is abandonment wounds. It's rejection. Some of you have been single for quite some time, but I feel like you are taking a look at that subconscious, because the moon is subconscious. Some of you may not even realize that this is a belief that you've accepted in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you've accepted some sort of fall, some sort of relationship collapse or ending, and said, I'm okay with being single. I'm just going to be single, for a while, or maybe I have to go through this and do it myself. That's another belief, right? That we have to go through loss or grief by ourselves. Right? Just like I said earlier, when the parent says, well, go to your room to cry, it means that we should grieve in silence, or we shouldn't be around people, when that's just a myth. So a lot going on here when it comes to evaluating and awakening that heart and taking a look at things that maybe we've accepted subconsciously. You're saying, I'm not going to accept that. That's not my truth. I don't have to be alone forever. Or I don't have to even feel separate or disconnected in this relationship if you're in one. You have the ability here to have a glorious win and to open yourself up, instead of maybe even at times self-sabotage because of subconscious beliefs that you have been ingrained to believe. What's going on in your hopes and fears? Justice. Some of you, yes, it's karmic. Okay, it's karmic. It's soul experiences that your soul came here to learn. But just because you've gone through that experience, some of you, I also feel like you've stayed maybe past the expiration date, or you have told yourself that there are some unlearned lessons when you've really learned what you've needed to learn. Okay, this can be about fair judgment. Some of you, maybe it has to do with divorce. It has to do with legalities. It has to do with feeling at times like there is judgments against you, judgments against others. Maybe you judge your own self when you're just trying to find a little bit of balance, right? We're constantly trying to find balance. We're constantly trying to make sure those scales aren't staying too far, too long, down here or up here. It's like being on the teeter-totter, right? You want to find that perfect balance and the perfect weight so you can just kind of oscillate. But what happens when you have someone or something that weighs heavy on one side, you're stuck up here, and there's not a lot of things that you can do besides jump off. And I feel for some of you, you decided to jump off here because something was too heavy. Something may have been weighing you down. And your final outcome here, Aries, is the Hanged Man. This is about you seeing things from a new perspective that you weren't able to see things from before. Okay, this is about a rewarded sacrifice because you are taking a deep dive and you're doing the work. Another belief that we have, which is a myth in some way, and I just read this interesting chapter around this, is time heals all wounds. And for those of you that have lost a loved one, or maybe you've been widowed, or maybe you've gone through a heartbreak that's still lingering years and years later, time heals all wounds. And the analogy that they gave with that myth is looking at a flat tire, right? If let's say you have a flat tire and you're sitting on the side of the road, and time says, well, it's going to heal, it's going to get better on its own, right? So you look at that flat tire and you're almost willing it to get better, to show up where it's going to be ready for you to just drive. No, we need to put in the work. Okay? Time heals all wounds if we put in the work, right? If we do the self-development piece, if we work on what we need to work on. And yes, it may come at times as a sacrifice, but it's going to be a sacrifice that is rewarded. Your hard work will be rewarded. But if we just wait around for things to change, right? If we just hope and pray that things are going to shift for us without putting any action behind it, any work behind it, we're going to be sitting on the side of the road looking at that flat tire for forever, right? Until maybe, yes, someone comes by and says, hey, do you need a hand with that? But even you saying yes is an action. So remember that, Aries. There's definitely a reward here. And I feel like the Hanged Man, which says some of you may have felt like you were hanging around waiting for something to happen. But I see here that this wheel is going to start moving forward. And it wouldn't surprise me if it does happen at the beginning, even mid Aries season. because that would be around March 21st, I believe, is when Aries season begins and goes until April 20th or so. So it could be towards the end of March, beginning of April, where I see that wheel starting to spin forward. And hopefully maybe this reading is a little bit of that catalyst for you as well. Let's get a message here from the wisdom of the Oracle. Okay, you weren't expecting a psychology lesson here today, were you, Aries? There's the message. There's some sort of news coming in for you that you've been waiting on, especially with the Eight of Wands. This could be you reaching out. This could be an apology. For others of you, this could be you getting that call. I'm also getting some of you are having premonitions, or the person that's on your mind or you're thinking about, there's an important conversation, the telephone rings, you get a text from this person. So expect that to happen. Look at that. You have orphaned. Yeah, because some of you have felt isolated with that hermit. Some of you have felt like you were out on your own. But I see come Aries season, there's going to be something that shifts up those feelings of abandonment. I'm also getting father energy here. Some of you may have a father that's crossed over. It's also card 5 and 15. Powerful energies around change, around overcoming obstacles, around uncertainty as well. But I see with this message, this could even be a message from the universe, right? We're going to take a look and read card 15. 1 and 5 also equals 6. That's the card of the Lovers. So some of you have some big choices to make in matters of the heart. But now that you're able to see things differently, I feel like you're going to choose a new path. This is all about communication, a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. In matters of love, Aries, you can expect someone to favor you with positive news. This could be in the form of a letter, a phone call, an email, or a text. You are the intended receiver of this message. So stay open to what you learn. Only good will come of it in the end. The signs are all there. Beautiful. I am going to read to you as well the protection message, because some of you with the moon card, because there is a level of uncertainty. You see that she's wearing that blindfold there. It says, are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? We talked about that as well, right? Sometimes we've accepted something for what it is, and that's it. That's the final verdict, right? That can be even that justice showing up here. We've accepted something for what it is, but what that does sometimes is if it limits us, if it's an acceptance based on a limiting belief or a hurt or, something that we've gone through, it can leave us feeling orphaned. And it says red flags are not pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warning you for a reason. If something doesn't sit right with you, trouble could be hiding in the bushes. Don't ignore the signs. Spirit always has your best interest at heart and will draw your attention to what you are overlooking. So some of you, there's a double-edged sword here. This is accepting that maybe someone in your life could be no good. Maybe they're very toxic. Maybe you're doing the evaluating and understanding why a person is the way they are. But at the same side of the spectrum here, you're also taking a look at that belief and saying, well, not everyone is going to be toxic. And that's what I mean by some sort of acceptance, not taking it as a whole and carrying it with you, but to understand the why behind it, trusting your intuition and letting you know that that's not going to be the forever case. Do you see what's happening there? So sometimes because of past experiences or conditionings that have left us feeling isolated, orphaned, less than, we tend to bring that into the present. We tend to let that, manifest into our present and future, where some sort of acceptance of the past you may be looking into and saying, I accept that that was that situation, but it doesn't have to be this new direction that I pave. And I feel like you are opening yourself up and you're communicating what you need to communicate. You're getting something off your chest, or there could be a very important conversation coming in for you, Aries. For others of you, someone could be reaching out to you. There could be, again, an apology for abandoning you or for having you feel a little bit left out. But it's our responsibility to heal. And the only thing that we have control over is how we react and how we respond. Okay, how we react and how we respond. All right, let's get a message here from the crystals, the crystal spirits. So we're going to do a tiny guided meditation here, Aries. So I just ask if you can, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from the solar plexus chakra, the belly area. Exhale with your eyes closed. Tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you, Aries, to imagine the first crystal or gemstone that shows up in your mind's eye. Now, this could be a crystal or gemstone that you're familiar with. Maybe it's showing up as a bright, shiny color. Perhaps it's emanating a frequency or vibration of love, stability, healing, or clarity. This could be a crystal that you're wearing, or maybe one of your personal favorites. It could be a specific size or shape or any color that is presenting itself to you in your mind's eye. There is no right or wrong answer, Aries. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway where I draw one lucky winner around the first of each month, all you need to do, Aries, is drop your crystals or gemstone. If you have more than one, that's okay. Put that in the comment section below. You don't have to know the name of it either. Maybe it's just a color. Maybe it's just a feeling. If you do know the name of it, great. Post it in the comment section below and I will enter you into that free reading giveaway. So please make sure you've hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss that notification. All right, Aries, look at this. You have a Amazonite showing up here, a Amazonite. So you are, again, this is the color of the heart chakra. So you are opening up to love of all different shapes, sizes, and forms coming in here for you. I'm also getting here with this moon and the Hanged Man, some sort of truth that you are telling yourself or that you are realizing. This is the card of revelation or the crystal of evolution. It is the card of truth and natural flow. And when it comes to relationships, the message for you is this. Love is sometimes so blind and we see what we want to see. Thus, we might need a little nudge from the universe in order to become aware of something bigger on the horizon for us. Maybe this relationship isn't meant to be, but rather is here to prepare you for the one you most deserve. Or maybe it needs to change into a new and better form. And you have to let go so it can evolve naturally, perhaps developing into something deeper and more meaningful. Maybe what you have been worried about is an obstacle to trust and intimacy placed there to help you and your partner grow and become even more connected in love. And if you're single, this can be self-trust, self-intimacy that you are growing and learning through at this time. Fear not, for what is being revealed is for the highest good of all. The conscious universe, Aries, wants you to be happy and has so much to teach you about getting in your own way. Be open to the revelations you are about to experience. Beautiful. Now, when you meditate with Amazonite, this stone encourages us to explore who we are at the deepest level, right? So again, subconsciously, psychologically, understanding through our Akashic records and our soul contracts here on earth, it can assist us in asserting what is true for us at the core of our being. And it asks us to own what we know as our truth within, unshakable certainty and absolute confidence. Oh, I love that for you. So those of you who are resonating with this reading, although I know it's not going to, it's pretty deep. It is, it does have a lot of deep beliefs and subconscious energies, but maybe that's something that you could benefit from exploring a little bit further in. Regardless of where you are at in love at this time, right? Amazonite is here to help guide you down that that path. All right, last but not least, let's get a message from the soul's truth and take a look at what your soul wants you to know at this time. What does your soul want you to pay attention to at this time that can help you in matters of the heart? What do we have for Aries? You have a couple of them here, Aries, and we're just going to go with the first one out here. I'll read them all to you, but we have what am I waiting for? Someone else to do it for me. There's that action that we talked about. You have how can I surrender even more in this moment? That's the Hanged Man. And I am going to share this one with you as well, because so many people look at surrender as a negative, right? But it is one of our greatest strengths. Surrendering means complete vulnerability. And that's so hard because a lot of us would rather stay in our comfort zone, or we'd rather stay in a place of maybe not feeling joy. Because when we allow ourselves to be happy, when we allow ourselves to feel love on a grander scale, we could be sucker punched at any time, right? We could have that love taken away. So sometimes it feels more safe to stay in an energy of maybe just content or comfort zone instead of fully being vulnerable to open up because we don't want to be hurt. Surrender. It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel. There's the wheel showing up literally for you. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. Today's soul action, Aries, know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone. There's that hermit energy. You're not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God can produce miracles in your life. Today's mantra: I surrender, I accept all that I cannot change, I release the outcome, and I joyfully trust the process. Beautiful. And lastly here, we have name all of the things you love. Aries, this is going to be your soul work, right? You can do it right here if you'd like, if you have time. Maybe write this as a journal prompt. Name all of the things that you love. And then at the very end, I want you to look at your list, or if you're taking a mental list, that's okay as well. Are you one of them? Aries, did you list yourself on that list? Today's mantra: I give myself all the love and attention I need. That is what I have for you, Aries. I hope that resonates. I hope it was helpful. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, comment, hit that subscribe and notification bell. And don't forget to drop your power crystals or gemstones in the comment section below the video. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here, Aries. Lots of love.